All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to another Black Speakers Network Speakers Magazine live interview. Super excited that you're here. If we haven't met yet, my name is Brian Oles, president and founder here at Black Speakers Network. And as always, at the top of the month, I'm joined with founder and creator, the visionary behind Speakers Magazine, all the way from the great Detroit, Michigan. Dr. Pam Perry is in the building. Good morning, Pam. I didn't hear your sound effect. Did it go off?
It did. What's going on here? It's wake up, Mr. Sound Effect. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
And then, of course, we're joined by two very special guests, and we have one other on the way. And so first, we have Kim Brooks. Kim is here. She is the creator and visionary behind the upcoming play, He's Fine, But Is He Saved? The stage play coming to the Ford Theater, which is going to be taking place in Dearborn, Michigan in just a few days. So Kim, welcome and good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Brian. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Black Speakers Network community. And then we're also joined by Dr. Eddie Connor, who's also in the play. And Dr. Connor, I don't know, what part of the country are you from? Where are you joining us from today?
My hometown is Motown. I'm in Detroit, as we say, what up, though?
What up, though? Absolutely.
Glad to be with you all today.
Glad that you're here as well. So we got a power pack session, as you can see. I am personally back from a nice sabbatical, and so definitely excited to jump back in. But Speakers Magazine has been rocking and rolling all throughout the summer, Pam, and so now that we're in the fall, I see we're not slowing down at all. We have a beautiful October edition. And so if you all aren't familiar, Speakers Magazine is the official magazine of Black Speakers Network. You can check it out right here. You can go ahead and hold it up, Pam. Y'all can go ahead over to speakersmagazine.com, speakersmagazine.com. Check out this month's online issue. Dr. Jewel Tankard is actually featured on the cover. She's going to be joining us soon. But here's the thing. You can go ahead and read the issue now. And if you are interested in being featured in Speakers Magazine, there are lots of opportunities. Hopefully we can get you in before the end of the year because we are getting close, but speakersmagazine.com/get featured is where you could do that as well. So guys, we are rocking and rolling. So Kim, definitely, I love the vision, but for those that may not be familiar, maybe tell us just a little bit about, of course, the play, but also how did this even come about? Because I can't imagine you just woke up one day and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna write this play. So maybe tell us a little bit about you and then how this all came about.
It's an overnight success that started 18 years ago.
Nice.
So I initially self-published the book, He's Fine, But Is He Saved? This is actually the self-published version. And it's about three single girlfriends and their challenges in life and love. But they represent different spiritual levels, the baby Christian, the super spiritual, and the middle ground. And then it did so well on the market that it got the attention of national attention of publishers, and it got picked up. And they re-released it. BET Books re-released it, and it became a Black Expressions best-selling novel 16 years ago. So this is actually Sweet 16 since the book came out. And for the last 10 years, I had been praying and believing God for it to become a play, but I just didn't know when, where, how. I just knew it was in my heart to become a play one day. So during C19, I kind of prayed more about it, and I was always waiting. You know how sometimes we wait for someone to pick up, maybe Tyler Perry will see it, or maybe somebody else will pick it up. But during C19, God was like, okay, I want you to mount it. I want you to start a production company. I'm like, whoa. So I obeyed God, and then the doors flew open, at least to get enough to get started, because I want to share. Everything wasn't all in place as I launched. but it was enough to get started. Continued on, got the cast in place, and as I walked, then more doors opened. And I say that because it's so important with the faith journey that we realize that we may not always see the big picture, but God knows, and he just wants our trust and our faith. So here we are now, 1 week from today, we're going to mount live on Ford Theater, 1,200 seat venue for 2 nights. So God is faithful, and tickets are going fast. So
listen, the vision here, 18 years in the making. Come on.
So Kim didn't really tell you all the backstory, right? So some of this is sometimes you have to get no's before you get to the yes. Well, most times you get no's before you get yes. And so I was Kim's publicist for the novel way back when. My company was just getting started. I was really just focused on doing nonfiction. I really didn't do fiction. She asked me over and over again.
Oh, this is not based on a true story?
Yes. And I said, no. I said, I don't do fiction. No, I don't. But Kim was so persistent. She was doing prayer at our church at the time in the mornings. And God just said, did you just drop that you're supposed to do this? And I was like, but I don't. But anyway, ended up, we did it. And I've been with Kim ever since because I saw her vision and her passion. The one thing that this was about 20 years ago. So if you remember, Waiting to Exhale had just really come out and was a book. It was a famous, and it was a movie. It was like the anthem for every single Black woman, right? And Kim was like, this is kind of like that in a way, but a Christian version. I was like, okay, so I kind of get that. So Terry McMillan, Kim Brooks. And so the PR success that I will say that God did is that she ran on the front page of the Way We Live section of the Detroit Free Press.
I want to do a throwback Thursday. So look what I got. Because I was
what was the top quote for it? It said Kim Brooks feature
he's fine, but as he said, is being heralded as a Terry McMillan-like novel with a Christian twist.
That's what we're talking about.
Wow, look how it looked 20 years ago. Ooh.
Yeah. She still look the same too, okay? But
you really do.
Terry McMillan like book with a Christian twist. You can't pay for that, okay? That is what the reporter got from the press release. And that really let people
I was
know.
like, how he get in my head? Like, what?
Because when you pitch, you gotta start saying stuff that they can resonate with, that they get, because it was relevant at that time. And so now with the book, it was self-published, and people don't understand that she self-published. The risk was all on her. The money was all on her. The cover,
credit cards. I was in my 20s. I didn't have no money.
You hear what she said? Credit cards.
It was
with a Z.
Cards. It was. But how many did it go on to sell?
In 2 years, over 12,000 copies self-published. And then it went on, when it got picked up, re-released 30,000.
Wow. So that is the key. The average book sells a year about 250 copies.
If it's
And she was doing massive.
I didn't know. I didn't know anything to compare it to. All I knew was people kept wanting more books. I kept getting orders here and there. I was doing mom and pop type, bookstores, and then the retailers and Borders and Barnes and Noble. It got to a point where the demand was more than the money. The money was coming in, because I had to check, because people would ask for more cases of books, but I didn't. I'm like, did you pay me for the last case of books? So it was wild. But God is good, and He gave me the title. And also, I mentioned this to Pam in morning prayer, as Pam was saying. He told me before I wrote a single page, he said, that book you're going to write, I want you to call it He's Fine, But Is He Saved? I was like, okay, Lord, just wrote it in my journal, and, and so to this day, it resonates, the title resonates with people. And I say, because it came straight from the throne.
So I love that. From self-published to published 3-book deal with Harlequin Romance, which is a division of
it. Well, they eventually got bought out by BET Books.
BET
Imprints
Books.
get bought out a lot.
They do. It's like everything's gonna be owned by two people in the world, basically. So yeah, that was the thing. I mean, so from morning prayer, really birthing it out, the title and everything, who is going to be what, it was the same blueprint that she had for the play. She prayed. It took a little bit longer
Kim,
than
you about to
probably
make me cry.
Well,
the
why?
same blueprint. So how she got Eddie, who is a really big deal,
He's a
okay?
big deal.
A really big deal. Eddie Connor is like the man. So his backstory is he needs to be a cover in 2024, so we can go into his backstory. But his backstory, I met Eddie probably at Globe Bible Bookstore, and he kind of told the story
Years
and that kind
ago.
of thing. Oh my God, that bookstore, it bless his heart. It was anyway, it was really bookstores are just, I love bookstores. That's where all of us kind of met. And so he
Yes.
had such a gift of speaking. I was like, I'm going to see him really do this thing. I mean, he is really like good. And so how he got to be in the play, Kim probably had to really visualize and see it in her mind before it became real. So people say, I'll believe it when I see it. But Kim saw it, God gave it to her, then she's believing it.
And
So
wow, Pam, you really, yeah, that's my process. I saw Brother Man in the play as I was writing the play.
right.
Then I figure out now how do I get them, but I see it first. And so some of the some of the national characters, I would see them in the play. Now with Dr. Eddie, he's someone that for a lot of the events I've done, the singles cruise and the ballroom dance and book signings, he's been a featured speaker at a lot of my events. And he's been consistently showing me that he's dependable, he's reliable, he's professional. So I considered that with Dr. Eddie. I was like, oh yeah, this will be perfect, especially for the particular role he's playing that I'm not going to reveal. But I'm like, and I even wrote lines that would sound like something he would say.
You sure did. You absolutely did.
Wow. And then Jewel, we'll talk about Jewel how she came about. But Kim will, because she has such a vision, Brian, she will run up on the people in the most like where we gonna find Brother Man? Where we gonna find Jewel? It's like, okay, well, God just told me these are the people. How I'm supposed to get them is on me.
Okay.
I want to dive into Dr. Connor though, because seeing your background, because you are in your own right a best-selling author as well, speaker, but also college professor and radio and television host. So tell us a little bit about like your journey and how, from your perspective, how you got attached to this project.
Well, I mean, when you really think about everything that has just come together, it's just amazing. And Dr. Pam Perry just sewed it all together and, really kind of just synthesized it. With Kim, I mean, what can you say about Kim? I call her Kim the Gem. I always tease her. But Gem for me stands for the fact that she's gifted, she's energetic, and she's just masterful at bringing her vision to fruition. So for me to be knowing her for so many years, so many projects and events that we have worked on, I didn't see this coming to fruition at all. I knew her book was just absolutely amazing, and it's riveting, it's a riveting read. But to be actually one of the actors along so many other gifted and talented actors as well, we actually got rehearsal today. So, but we've been rehearsing and just bringing this to life. This is going to be an amazing theatrical stage play. If you do not have your ticket, you are doing yourself a great disservice. You want to be there for opening night, Sweetest Day, and then the day after is going to be absolutely amazing. The cast, the crew, the camaraderie, just the way that everything is just, we feel the heartbeat and the pulse of just the temperature of this play. And it is more than just a play. It's more than just something in the marketplace. This is actually ministry. And so people are being touched. The cast members are crying as they're doing lines and scenes, and we're clapping and we're just in awe and looking at everybody else. It's something every day that just continues to really matriculate into something even greater with each rehearsal. So when you see us on the stage, you're going to be wowed and awed.
Well, I have a couple fundamental questions about plays because I've never been in one. Actually, I think I got almost recruited to be in one in like high school, and it didn't quite pan out or whatever. I think they pulled the funding or something. But so Dr. Eddie, is this your first play? Is this your first time, like your first go around, or is this you've been doing this for years?
First play, I did a film. I did a movie 2019, right prior to COVID. So I had a little bit of
You was
chopping
playing
my
yourself there
acting.
too.
Yeah, I was playing my right, all right. But this is different. This
Yeah.
is
That's what I was going
different.
to ask.
You
Like, how do you
yeah,
compare and contrast? Like,
yeah.
well, maybe both, all three, if you can, because we're talking to Black Speakers Network, and sometimes people may not see the skills or the connection between speaking on stage as 60-minute keynote versus
hmm
acting live
Yeah.
theater versus something that's pre-recorded. Being in a movie, I'm sure you're breaking up production over multiple days, but in a play, you're on. Like whatever happens is
Oh,
happening now. So how do you compare and contrast those?
Right. I think it's different, but it's also so similar because when I'm in the element of speaking, it's theater to a certain degree. There's an element of theater there. There's capturing the audience. It's you have to be engaging. And I think I bring all those elements into the whole aspect of uh, when I'm going through my lines, when I'm rehearsing, when I'm trying to connect with my audience, and then also with my cast members to where I'm listening to their lines and then also being able to jump in right when I need to. I think everything that I've learned in the whole speaking game and just connecting with people over the years has been kind of a launching pad to do what I do now, especially with this play. I think it's all been led to a crescendo to a certain degree to be able to be a part of this, and I bring all those elements into the whole aspect to be captivating, to be engaging, to be theatrical.
Mhm.
As TJ Hemphill say, sometimes to even overact
yeah.
if need be, and really just engage the audience. And I think that's what you're going to get when you see us come
One
to
of the
life.
things that I find that most speakers, this is a book,
Awesome.
the collaborative book that we did with 30 speakers from BSN, Black Speakers Network, is that one of the tips for speaking, stage, dominating the stage, is doing acting classes. Like
Mm,
what Eddie just said, it's theatrical. You have to engage. You don't read a script. And definitely, if you're in a play, you're going to memorize lines. So, acting classes, even comedy classes, will help your speaking career. It really will. I'm not saying that every speaker needs to run out and be in a play, but I'm just saying the best speakers know how to command that stage. And so acting classes really helps with timing. Like Eddie just said, when to really respond to the other actor and that sort of that is so critical because we're using our voice to project a message. And so if someone says, I want to be a speaker, I just want to talk, well, yeah, you do, but it's so much more to it. So the elements of really doing acting, or even if a reality show, once Jewel comes on, reality shows is different. Doing television is different from doing movies, doing plays, but it's still part of really connecting with the audience. So using your voice is really, really key. Telling your story is a part of it, but how you deliver the story is really the most important part. And having a
Absolutely.
good director helps. I
yeah, yeah,
just heard
yeah.
Eddie just
now,
mention TJ Hempfield.
now
So
we
he's
Mhm.
yeah.
Definitely
Now
help.
we have Jewel backstage, so we can bring her in momentarily. But Dr. Eddie, before we let you go, I want to see if you had any final thoughts as we get ready. And again, this play will be taking place this weekend. We dropped the link down, so y'all can head over to he'sfinetoplay.com and get your tickets, like you said. But Dr. Eddie, if you have any final thoughts to share, uh, now's the
We'll
time.
see you there.
Listen, this is like I said, you
Well,
got to go get your ticket right now.
I think
Kim is
people are
just so masterful at
asking.
what she's done.
Thank
People are asking, do you have a sweetie, Dr. Eddie?
Who's people in the comments? Oh
Yeah.
snap! Pam is a
It's
matchmaker. Like I ain't gonna.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. You got to
I
come to the play and see.
you.
You
That was good.
got
I
to get
like
your ticket and
that.
see. We didn't come to
Like,
play, so come to the play.
He's fine, but is he saved? Okay, we know he's saved. Okay, so he's fine. But what's the situation here? Like, give me the situation. Okay, so we got to come and find out.
Dr. Connor, thank you so much for joining
I
us.
plead the
We
fifth,
appreciate
Daddy.
you.
I plead the fifth, and I plead the blood.
Take care.
All right, love you.
All right, so I'm
on the spot.
gonna go ahead and bring Jewel in.
Real quick, before we bring her up, I wanted to tie in, like we talk about speakers, even from when I speak, the book was the message to get that message out. And then for me, as a licensed minister, what I do is to get the message out, but it's like different means. So whether it's a book, whether it's a play, it's still a form
song.
of communicating. But
Or
this
song.
one is, yeah. Oh Lord, you're right, Pam. Or a song, which you guys will see at the play as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it just all ties together. These are all vessels to get out a message of God's message of love and his message, and he just used all these great tools. So God is good. That's all I had.
Yeah,
Cool,
no,
cool.
that's powerful. All right, so I'm gonna bring in Jewel, and so this is really great because I think one of the let me bring her in first. So first, good morning. Dr. Jewel is in the building.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited. Y'all was having some good conversation. I'm about to take me some acting classes, child.
We're not sure if you already need them because we all follow you on social media. You seem like you're ready to drop lines at any time. You could there's some people you could just wake up at like 2 a.m. There's the
I
big
don't know
post.
if you all see this cover. This is hot.
I don't see it. I can't see it. It's too small. Way too small. I have no idea what that is.
That is hot. So this will be at the play.
Thank you. I'm honored, really.
The cover is fine. But Dr. Jewel, welcome. For those that don't know you, first of all, I understand you're a wealth and investment strategist, global economist, investor, owner of the Millionaires Club. Guys, I'm not done. Financial powerhouse, serial network marketing, community leader, and women activist. And so you sound a little busy. So how did you find time to do a play?
Exactly.
Listen, well, first of all, I just got to say, I'm really grateful. Pam, thanks for the cover. I really appreciate that. And Kim, thanks for even asking me to be a part. Actually, y'all know I'm from Detroit, 313, baby. What's up, West Side? Okay?
What up, though?
What up, though?
I just learned it. I just learned that 20 minutes ago.
So I actually went to acting school in Willoway Theater, which is in Bloomfield Hills, Cranbrook Theater, right? And then there was another one downtown that I went to. So I actually had all of my junior high school, I was doing theater classes and learning how to speak different accents with different dialects. And it was really, really amazing. And I found myself really falling in love with the theater. So, so anyway, so when Kim asked me, I was like, oh, that's the love for me. Like, I hadn't done it in a minute. The last play I did was I did a Nashville Theater with myself and Taj George and Terry Vaughn, and we did the Vagina Monologues.
Really?
Yeah. That's good.
And so that was like the last thing that I did. So this was pretty dope to do this. So I hope to be doing more stuff like this. It's fun.
Yeah. We were just, you kind of came in a conversation when we were just kind of making these parallels between speaking and acting and being a live stage play. You're excited to be back on the stage. Like, how are you feeling? Is it just because you're also a pastor too, right? So I'm sure you're speaking like pretty much every week in some capacity.
Yeah. My husband is the senior pastor at Destiny Center, Ben Tankard. Shout out to my boo. But yeah, so we tag team teach every Sunday. And so yeah, our ministry is definitely not conventional. We're very creative. We're both have a very strong entrepreneurial slant, very innovative, and then doing the arts, TV. So a lot of people are attracted to our ministry that are not looking for traditional, because we're definitely not that. Because I will rock some skinny jeans in the pulpit as well. But there's a demographic that we're called to that I think really love it. So I think, really the key to success is having a successful team. You got to have a good team for everything you want to do. So every entity that I've bought, I'm now buying businesses that cash flow. I buy real estate that cash flow. But I'm very grateful. We just finished a photo shoot here at my house, but it's all my teams. Like, I'm so grateful. It's, God's grace and the teams, and Ben is very supportive. of everything that I do, which is amazing because I'm definitely a free spirit. So the Lord gave me the right man. You got to be secure.
Amen. That's
And the
a
whole
word right
family
there.
is like that as well. Everybody has like that talent of just really what I call like an influencer. Everybody is quote unquote like an influencer. You're influencing for good, though. You're really making people dream bigger. That has been like Jules' mission, to help people dream bigger. So tell us about you're doing the play, you're doing this. Tell us about how Kim asked you about this. Like,
I know, Pam.
Where did it happen?
Selected, elected, or kidnapped into.
So she came to a real estate meeting that I was teaching people how to invest in real estate. And she came up to me after and she goes, we got a play going on. Now, mind you, I really wasn't like, I realized I'm better before, but at this time I was just like, okay, girl, call me, girl. And then she called and she was like, she was rolling with TJ. I was like, TJ been around a long time. So then I realized
he's a Detroit icon for plays. He's like our Detroit Tyler Perry. Okay.
Okay.
All day. I'm excited about seeing his expansion on this second wing because he's been doing it a long time. So that's how it happened. And when she called back, I was like, oh, she for real though. And so that's how it all happened. But I'm really thrilled, and my character is hilarious. It's totally opposite of I am. I understand Pauletta now. I understand her.
Good. She is gonna bring it. Y'all get ready. She's in these Zoom rehearsals bringing it, so I know she's about to bring it on stage. So
I saw some of your social media disclaimers, Dr. Jewel, where you were like, look, my character's like this, so I'm just warning y'all. It was like a little.
But I want to share though, there's no swear words. It's family friendly, so I want to make sure we got that out there too.
That's fine. So we're a week away from Curtain Up, and I know it's gonna be exciting. So y'all make sure y'all go check it out. Now you're on the cover of Speakers Magazine. I'm gonna bring it up in a moment so we can see. Dr. Pam Perry has multiple covers here. This is a beautiful.
How is she north of 40? How is she north of 40 and rocking this outfit? Are you north of 40 or are you still in their 30s? I'm not sure.
I am north.
Oh my God, it's too cute. I'm like, what? Oh my God, untraditional co-pastor, right? Like untraditional co-pastor, but it's the vision that she makes everybody stretch and just be bigger, dream bigger, millionaire status. In the name of your book, Jewel.
Mind of Millionaires. I got two books. One is called Millionaires Lifestyle, Pam. I did that one several years ago. And then just recently, this was my first one that actually hit Barnes and Nobles in the finance section next to my boy, Dave Ramsey. Mind of Millionaires in Books A Million. And so that's
huge.
Yeah, that one's done really well. So I'm really, really grateful for that one. Yeah.
Oh my God. That is Jules. So just so you know, Jules' home church, I know a lot of people from Bishop Jackson in Detroit. So this is like where she kind of came out of. And Bishop Jackson has a mantle. Miracles do happen. Okay. So it's just no surprise that this happens to Jewel. Like miracles do happen, and she's like living it out loud. Like this is it. So the film, the movie, the TV shows, all the things, like the play. It's just miracles do happen. It's a big part of her faith. Kim as well. It's like part of their faith. So this play is not just entertainment for those who are wanting to come to Detroit. You can still get a ticket and come. It's really about expanding your faith about what's possible, using your vocal abilities, using your voice, using your story, using your imagination to then be limitless, right?
Yes.
It's unlimited of what you could do. The next phase, I don't know if you all notice in the background of the little film things, right? The next phase, Kim, is what?
Movies.
There you go. Speak it out. Speak it out. Yeah.
It's already out. I went to the closing table the other day, so it's coming. Yep. The closing table. So that next year we're gonna film our next movie, and then this is actually going to be filmed Saturday by Dennis Reed Productions. So for Tubi. So we're on that path. And I just want to
Singing
give a
is
shout out
everything.
to Pam Perry because I don't know, I'm sure she remembers, but you know me, I'm like a sponge. And when I was a little, 20 years ago, coming up with my books, and Pam was publicist telling me go here and there, and God opened the doors. She would, I'm trying not to cry. She would mail, she would mail me random packages of Tyler Perry. I know his whole life story. I know his whole backstory. And she believed in me so much. She believed in my talent, my vision, and she would just mail. And because I'm a reader, I'm open. I'm reading all this stuff that she's sending me. Mike Murdoch, she would send me those books.
Wisdom.
And I just thank God for Dr. Pam because it's all seed. She didn't know. And then, like she said, I was her first fiction client. I had a message.
Yes.
And I didn't have a whole bunch of money, but she took me on. So I really appreciate that.
I said, we're going to do this.
And now she's my publicist for this. So God is good.
And you may not know this, but TJ Hempfield was my very first client.
Very first?
Very first. I met him on the elevator.
Oh my goodness.
And the backstory was we were leaving our other company, Perry Marketing Group. Things had closed. We went bankrupt, and I was on the elevator with this man, and he said, "How are you?" And I said, "Not so good. Our business just closed." He was like, "Oh, that's too bad. What do you do?" And I said, "We do this." He said, "What are you going to do next?" I said, "I think I'm going to open up my own PR firm." He says, "Really? My play, Perilous Times, needs a publicist." By the time we ended you talk about the elevator speech, I was like, he says, "Let's come." He says, "You don't have an office anymore?" I said, "No, they just closed everything down." He says, "Well, I'll come over to your house.
Wow.
And we'll hash it out."
Awesome.
He was the one that gave me the name of my company too. He says, "You are a ministry marketing solution."
Praise God.
So I don't know if you knew that backstory, but TJ has been, like you said, he's been around forever. He's kind of like the godfather. Yes.
And yesterday's rehearsal, we had a church moment yesterday. The whole everybody, and everything came full circle. We're all on board to make it great. So that's an awesome backstory.
Yes. That was it. Good. And we got him on the front page of the Free Press about that little Christian play.
Wow.
Okay. Yes, we did. And Kim, you're going to be on Fox 2 News. What day?
Yes, Friday morning.
Friday. Okay, Friday morning.
11:45. So
okay. So she's going to be on Fox 2 News as well. So it's happening.
That is good.
Yeah, just miracles happen. Dream bigger. Keep it's the whole process of that. I don't know if Jewel remembers this picture down at the bottom. You were with Dr. Geneva, and we were in the studio of Gerald McBride.
Yes, I do remember that. How is she doing?
She is doing, and she's all over TikTok, and she is doing the darn thing. Let me tell you.
Oh, I love that.
She is doing the thing. She is like everybody's auntie mama, right? She is just so funny on her TikToks and bringing it, telling women how to be comfortable in their skin.
Amen.
All right. Yeah, how to be comfortable in their skin. So that was when we met in Gerald McBride's studio. Sure was. Yep, wow. That was it.
Man, you got a picture with everybody.
You never know where these photos gonna be resurfacing, because I will catch
see. So we're in October 2023 issue, and Pam, you always kick it off with From the Desk of the Publisher, and just kind of set the theme and the tone of what's going to be happening. And I think we're getting so much of this context now that would never be able to fit into Speakers Magazine, the backstories, and it's really, really special.
It says we celebrate those who weave the narratives for the ones who lead, inspire, and drive meaningful change. And so everybody does that. Our narratives do that. Our lives do that. And that's really our point of us using our imagination, our voices, to really know people that it's possible. And that's really the whole point, especially with Black speakers. We have gone through so much as Black people, the Black Speakers Network. People say, "Are you just really highlighting Black speakers?" Absolutely. Unapologetically. That is it. We have so much richness in our soul that this is what we do. That is that the person on the other side, a voice that transforms lives and ignites authentic growth. That is Kashana Morrow. And you can read about her as well. But she wrote a book called 7 Days to Simply Shift. a daily guide to transforming your mindset personally, professionally, and spiritually. So she wanted to be in this issue. She knew you were going to be on the cover, Joel. So she wanted to kind of like tag along. It's like she says, I love her. I love her. So she's in this issue and she wanted to just at some point kind of like connect with you. So she will connect with you.
She need to roll up on you at a real estate seminar.
I know,
That's the key. Like, we already got the
Look,
blueprint out here. Like, this is what you do.
That's what you do. You got to be bold. You got to be bold.
I saw that Instagram. I was like, oh, she gonna be in Detroit.
And this one, Brian always brings us a message, and this really talks about almost acting in a way, but how movement enhances your message. You know, the thing, you don't want to be a death by podium, right? You don't want to just stand there hanging on the podium like, I don't want to move. So he really talks about how to really use movement as part of your speaking, because speaking is it's theatrical.
Yes.
So it's that part of it. You have to do power spots of saying, you know, when people do TEDx talks and things like that, they get that power spot on that dot, but they don't stay in the dot. They're not planning the dot. They use the dot as like their area where they have to move. So basically he gives us 3 points of how to really use walking as a punctuation.
Yeah, this is important because Dr. Jewel and Kim, I don't know if y'all have ever done like Toastmasters, but
yes, I have.
that was where I cut my teeth in the speaking world.
Same.
Jewel?
I've never done it, but I've heard of it. I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, Toastmasters is really cool, but the problem is that a lot of times they call it a lectern in Toastmasters, and so sometimes you get stuck behind that lectern and you never want to come out. And even if you do come out, I think there's thinking about purposeful movement and thinking about how to use your body as an extension of your presentation, getting closer to your audience, hand gestures, eye contact, all of those things play a big part in your overall message and how it's received. So yeah, I'm glad that we went with this topic this month.
And that's in here. I need to read that because I literally ministered at a church. They let me minister last week and then share about the play. And I literally stood behind that podium and never left because it's almost like a security blanket.
It is.
Exactly.
For a lot of people. It is.
And so I need to read that.
Yes. Yep. When you see people do TEDx talks, they never have a lectern up there. They just have that red dot. Yes. Yeah. So now we've got Kim, and so you can read a little bit. Kind of hover over that, Brian, so they can see that there's a video there.
Okay, Red.
Yeah, there it is. So there's a video there.
Wow.
Is your first time saying it?
The video link to it, I didn't know.
Yeah, the videos are all in there.
Oh
wow. Yep. So only could get that on the digital version. So that way it kind of shows a little bit about what. There she is.
So show the clip, the 2 second from the very beginning, because I want to show Jewel something from the very beginning. The very, very beginning.
That one? Okay.
When I want to show Jewel, look, like I'm gonna go in, and I was like, we had the same idea. In the video when you went in.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love it. Brilliant minds think alike, okay?
That is it. It's like, hey, come on, that same spot right there. Come on, you were walking the same way. That is it. I can't wait. So so there's Brother Man in there. So so it's the video. Is
this Brother Man from Martin?
There's a video of Jewel on
the snap. I was like, this dude look familiar. Y'all kept saying Brother Man, but I'm like, Brother Man from the 5th floor? Oh man. That's crazy. Oh wow.
Yes.
It's gonna be wild.
So that is, even on the cover, there's a video of Jewel. Jewel is walking through the same thing on the cover. She's walking through the theater as well. So the videos are all embedded in the online version.
That's awesome.
That is so awesome. That's
Anybody watching this, speakersmagazine.com is where you could go check that out.
Yes.
And then she has 2 videos on each side of hers as well. So her videos are there as well. So, but really she talks about her mission and her mantle is about financial empowerment, financial literacy for her people, really making sure, especially Christian women, learn about money and have a powerful money mindset so they can really just pursue the land and live abundant life. So it's been her life for a long time.
Well,
The backstory,
doc,
why this is, Jewel, you want to give that why?
and when you do that, can you just, like, while we got you on this part, can you talk about, because you talked about a few things in your intro, and you said you just casually threw it out like, yeah, I'm buying businesses, buying real estate. So can you talk about too, like, your wealth journey a little bit, because here in the article we talked a little bit about your journey, network marketing. It looks like you had a foray into crypto. Now it's raining diamonds on you. So, like, I would love for people just to kind of know what that journey was like, and then and how that leads into what Dr. Pam is saying.
Yeah, for sure. So, I grew up, like I said, downtown Detroit. My parents were actually the first African Americans to have a business downtown Detroit called LaGreen's Records and Tapes. They had a chain of record stores on Gratiot and Randolph and Woodward, right across the street from the old Hudson's and Grand River and Griswold. We had an arcade called LaGreen's Records Arcade, or LaGreen's Arcade. Next door was LaGreen's Records and Tapes. And then across the street, for those of you Detroiters, DeMongo's Hair Salon was there for a time. We're really good friends with them. I still am in touch with Jerome and the brother. So anyway, growing up, seeing them hustle and work, they were like a power couple before power couples was a thing. And we lived a very good life. I went to Detroit Country Day, University of Liggett. I grew up with housekeepers, cooks, drivers, and his and her Rolls Royce, his and her Mercedes. I had a Volvo at 16, and then at 19 we lost everything, and I was devastated. I was at Michigan State at the time. I ended up having to transfer to U of M, and there was like no communication that this was happening. So when it happened, it was like the tow trucks was outside, like, what happened? Oh, no. And so I remember asking my mom a lot of questions like, hey mom, did we have anything paid off? Did we have anything saved? And her answer for everything was, your father said this, your father thought that. And so I got really angry with her because I felt like she wasn't trusting her own financial instinct. There were a lot of decisions. My dad, even today, is an amazing producer, but he was never like the best manager, right? So it was like, why would you have not trusted your instinct on that, right? And so anyway, so my next financial plan was I started dating drug dealers. Okay, don't judge me.
Hey, that's how you come up. Right? Come up is real. Like,
it was not BMF. It was not BMF.
I've grown accustomed to a certain standard of living.
I mean, seriously, like I was trying to figure it out. And at the time it was like glamorous to have a dope boy and it was easy to do. And so I did that for a couple of years. And then honestly, I had a best friend that got killed. She was 9 months pregnant. Her boyfriend was also a drug dealer. And then I had another girlfriend who had a drug dealer. She had just had a baby and he was just killed on on the west side. And so it was just actually on the east side. I felt like Mac in Kercheval. And it was just like drama. And so that's when Pam, I ended up going to Great Faith Ministries. And I literally thought I was about to pray my boyfriend at the time out of jail because he had gotten indicted as a drug kingpin, double related murder. So it was a lot of drama. And I was just like, Jesus, like, I need your help. And 6 months after being in that church, I realized that was not God's plan for my life to pray in jail. And so,
especially on a RICO charge, come on.
listen. And so I finished U of M with an economics degree and I was blessed to have some mentors in my life that really helped me. I opened up my first business. I made my first $1 million with Steve Ratton from Steve's Soul Food. We opened up a Nextel franchise on Grand River. And we did really well. It was the first minority-owned Nextel franchise. And then after about doing that for about 3 years, doing really well, we had big accounts like Mishcon and just a bunch of different accounts, and it just grew. I ended up meeting my honey now, Ben Tankard, at a Ben Tankard concert. He was doing a fundraiser. And so he came up to me during intermission and said, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. You're supposed to be my wife." And I was like, "Amen, brother." And so And so we ended up getting married, and I got heavily involved in, for a couple years, I was just helping to blend the family together because it was a lot. He already had 4 children. I had 1, and then he was traveling heavy, and I was just trying to get my bearings and, blend into the family and blend the family together. So it was challenging, but, God's grace with me. And then after a couple of years of doing that, I started gaining weight, and I was just like, baby, I'm kind of bored. Like I'm a businesswoman. So I got heavily involved in gold and silver, heavily involved and just doing a lot of deals. And then I got heavily involved in crypto and took a lot of my money from crypto and started buying property in the city of Detroit in 2016, single family homes. And so now I'm doing, I love multifamilies that already cash flow. And my new venture is I have a real estate financial ecosystem that helps people get their credit together, personal and business. We show you how to use credit to build wealth. A lot of people are afraid of debt, but if you use that the right way, it's how you become wealthy. So we do that. And then I also have another company that I'm a part of where we actually have a booty cream and a breast cream. It's vegan with capsules that literally grow the breasts and the boobs in real life. And so that company is out of Miami. And so we're doing some great things with that. You can set up auto ship. But, a lot of women who are doing Ozempic weight loss, they losing the booty too.
Yeah. And they don't want to lose that. They want to keep the boobs in the booty.
And even if it's a big booty, you want it to be firm, right? In your breasts. And so we have things that tighten the tummy. So I really love beauty. I really love real estate, and I love businesses that cash flow. And so we are helping people to do all those things because I want every man, Brian, and every woman needs to have their own independent wealth. I mean, you don't need to have 5 family meetings to make an investment. If you have your own money, then you can just kind of make sure you got sound counsel and then do it. A lot of what happens in wealth development is trusting your instinct. It's not a lot of deals I've known nothing about, and I learned as I went and end up being blessed to make millions. So I tell people, trust your instinct because it will lead you to wealth every time.
I love that. Oh my God. That is so true. I just
that's
became an
that's the
investor.
movie right there.
I received
I
it.
know. I know. I just did an investment in a Black-owned company called Fanbase, I believe it is. And Isaac Hayes's son is doing like his own technology company. And I said, I am not going to miss out on a technology deal again. So I missed out on so many other ones. I said, but this was Black owned, and I just invested like a small amount, but I wanted to be in it to support him. So it's like it's his own Facebook or something like that. I don't know, but
I've heard of that. I don't know the
Fanbase
details,
is
but
good.
I have heard of Fanbase.
Yeah, that's his company. That's Isaac Hayes' son's company.
Yeah, I think you gotta jump on. Like, what I love about your story, Jewel, is that similar to what you're talking about, Dr. Pam. Like, sometimes you're never going to be able to make decisions with 100% of the information, but I think you've gotten very comfortable, like operating with having some information and then quickly taking strategic risks. And it sounds like you've set up your family in a way where, what happened to you at 19 will never, like, you'll never have the rug pulled out under from you again. Multiple streams of income, multiple industries, building, ecosystems of communities like here at Black Speakers Network, products, direct products, like all of those are, distinct businesses. And then some things that are essentially recession proof in real estate. Like you've built you're playing Monopoly in real life, and it's really cool to see.
No, for sure. And Brian, I always tell people, like, Pam, Kim, all of us know this is all about community. It's all about getting with the right people that have the information. When you have the right mentor, you cut out challenges, you cut out a lot of mistakes, and it kind of can take you straight to destiny, And so I've been really blessed to always be able to have business partners and alliances and partnerships that have always really put me like way ahead of where I would have been. Because even though I have an econ degree from University of Michigan, I promise you what I'm doing now, Michigan did not like prepare me for this. You know what I mean? This is, definitely relationship based by God's grace.
You said something interesting, Jewel. You said, okay, so the family was going through all that, and then you left Michigan State and they sent you to U of M. Was that supposed to be like a step back?
I think so, Pam. No, I'm kidding.
I just want to say whatever.
And Pam's daughter's a Spartan, so that was a good one, Pam.
This is a good opportunity to say that the comments shared on this program are not the express views of Black Speakers Network. They are independent thoughts. Nobody come for us.
No, Kim is a Spartan, so that's why I said that. Teasing.
Right.
And Pam's daughter.
Yes, I feel like I'm a Spartan. I paid for her to go to Michigan State. Okay, so
listen.
But this right here, you see, it's written by and produced by Kim Brooks, directed by T.J. Hempfield, Broadman, Jewel Tankard, Joshua Rogers. Give a little bit of background to Kim on Joshua.
Oh my goodness. Like I said, Pam, I came on here right after Zoom rehearsal with Joshua Rogers. Y'all prepare to be amazed. He is the BET Sunday Best Winner, season 5. He was the youngest and the first male to win out of all those seasons. The first male, and he's the youngest. He won. He was like 19. So now he's still a baby, like 29. But amazing voice, and he can act. And I'm just so happy and thrilled to have him. He's a beautiful soul. And he actually was in Michigan. He lived in Detroit about 4 years, I found out. He lives in Missouri now.
Okay.
But yeah, yep. So
he's coming home.
Guys. So yeah, he and his manager are both excited to be a part and come to the play. And he's excited to be a part of it. Yeah, he's an amazing young man.
Is that how most plays like come about? Like, are most plays like books adopted? Or is it just it depends?
I would say it depends, because some people may do a play first and then turn that into a book, or or some people may just do a play. It definitely depends. I'm not sure which one is more of the other. Like, I haven't done the research, but
I just like this model that you have, because you talked about the story of Pam sending you the Tyler Perry, and I think like Tyler Perry kind of. Because in professional speaking, we talk all the time about repackage, repurpose, repeat.
Yeah,
like something put into another platform. And look, and we see this now, but just the scale that it happens now is crazy. Like Beyonce, took the Coachella performance and turned it into like 20 different things. We just see what I think.
Her tour is going to be a movie coming out in December. My daughter already bought the tickets for. I said, "Didn't you go to the tour?" She said, "Yeah, I did, but I want to see the movie." I'm like, but the movie, I was like, okay, like she did that. It's coming out in December.
And the same with like
every city she went to, she filmed.
Exactly. So taking that content, to your point, Pam, about you never know. And now, Taylor Swift, same thing. I think her movie just premiered this week. So like you and Kim, you're recording this for that specific purpose. So like I love how you're modeling what's to do, because you already have
also with since C19 a few years ago, the world of streaming has opened up a whole world of how we view movies now, and it's like a big huge door for independent filmmakers, especially there's a boom right now in Detroit of independent filmmakers. And so I'm going to slide on in there, but I'm adding the faith element and the Christian element to kind of what's there, because you can stream it on, what is it? Tubi. And then you got Amazon Prime, and then you got Hulu, and then you got All Black, and then you got
Roku.
I can even roll. Y'all talk about
Apple TV.
I can roll up on Lemio next. Lemio.
Oh yeah, he's a plumber.
Network. So the options are limitless, and then you get your income from advertising, streaming revenue. So I can literally, and then so my plan is I've already written 3 novels. I have 6 books, 3 nonfiction, 3 novels. So my next novel will be another book. And then the goal is to have like a machine where I'm literally going to write the novel and then produce the movie.
Yes, and the rest. Yes.
That's it.
Hey, listen, you guys, I got to get ready to get back in here to this photo shoot. But listen, I am super excited to be there. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bring your honey, bring your friends, bring your children. Like, just bring somebody. It's going to be great. You want to make sure when you have good theater in our city, which is a major, African-American city, and the talent is crazy. Your girl's going to be there. Okay, brother, a bunch of other people. It's going to be great. I'm definitely going to be there after, shaking hands, kissing the babies if they cute. to see y'all there. So I'm excited to see it. I'll be in town all week. So you guys are going to put me to work in terms of PR. But listen, I love you guys. Thanks for having me and everybody. I'll see y'all.
And rehearsals. No, I'm just kidding. I know we got Tech Week. Tech Week is coming up.
I will be there. I'll be there.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. Jewel.
Thank you.
God
Bye-bye.
bless you.
Thank you. I was trying to get a screenshot, but I think I kind of got half of one, but that we're good. We're good. Because I was trying to say to hold the magazine up with Jewel, but we can get it later.
Yeah.
Well, these will actually be at the event, so everybody will be getting one of these. So you can take a picture with her and she can sign it or whatever you want to do. So
I mean, these days we can just have AI just add her back in. Like we take out
AI for real. It's like AI is scary. It can do a whole lot of things. This particular lady right here, Dr. Ann Hester. So she's a retired doctor, and her main thing right now is just really helping people, patients, be empowered with their doctors. So she is another one, Kim. She's kind of like you, where she takes all the advice and everything. And so I said, Dr. Ann, I said, you get in here, get the pictures. I said, we did the interview. I said, you need some media coaching. She did some media coaching. I said, you need to sign up for Harrow. She signed up for Harrow. Well, she signed up for Harrow. One of the first things, and she was really hawking it and pitching it because she really talks about really empowering patients. So there was an article that needed some sources, and the article was in Time Magazine, 6 Things Your Doctors Never Tell You.
Mm-hmm.
How about she got in there?
Awesome.
Time Magazine.
Wow.
And she was the first one. So I actually put it out on LinkedIn because that's where I hang out the most. I put it on LinkedIn. It was Time Magazine was a cover, 6 Things Your Doctors Never Tell You. And it says number 1, it says Dr. Ann. It had her name, had her book, and all of that. That actually led to a CNN interview. So she actually got on CNN. So CNN is reading Time, and Time, showed her, positioned her, and she got on CNN. But it was after she got coached by Christy Taylor, who was over our Speak Sell Shine event, and she actually did very, very well on CNN. So when I tell you, she went from this to interviewing on Speakers Magazine show to really following the instructions to actually going into Harrow, getting quoted, knowing how to pitch, getting on CNN, getting the media coaching from Christy Taylor. It happens. Okay. And it's just about being focused and listening. What Jewel just said, having the right mentors and that sort of thing. Did I do the work? No, I just showed her what to do and she did it. There's no magic wand. I always go through there. There's no magic wand. You just you have to do the work. You have to do the work.
But you have a magic wand, so
I do have a magic wand. people think that Pam can weave the magic.
And it has lights. Come on.
It has lights, I'm a princess. So I had to have the lights, right? So that kind of thing. Latrice is really a podcast producer. She's with Black Podcasters Network. And they just had their award show, and she was the person that actually was over that. So it kind of gives you a little bit about what that she does with the with her own podcast, how it kind of led to a whole new life for her, basically a whole new career. So she really is a life coach and a therapist, and she helps people with her podcast and really helping people that are with their stories and how to shape all of the things that they have. But her podcast, she said that was like her lifeblood. I mean, it was like once she started podcasting, that was her thing. So read all about her. Her podcast is called Unicorns Talk. This right here is a couple of things here. So Speak, Sell, and Shine was an event that I did at the Press Club a couple of weeks ago. And so these are our sponsors here, our official sponsor for how to pitch, just kind of like what Dr. Ann Hester did about pitching, and then also our publisher. Our publisher takes your nonfiction books and then really creates a new career for you. So those are those people there. So you can actually see that. And then November coming up, November 1st through the 4th, we added a day. So Dr. Sherwood, bless your heart. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 days in Washington, D.C., SpeakerCon conference. It's just all things. It's an awards, it's speaking, it's training, it's vendors. Brian, you've been there, it's everything.
Yeah, SpeakerCon, this is like the Oscars of the speaking world.
Yes, it really is.
With a wraparound conference experience.
Yes,
and to go with it.
Yeah. So if you want to go, I would suggest, if you're flying in from out of town, to go to SpeakerCon conference. It's at the Westin in Arlington. So make sure that you click it to get the room rate because they're going out fast. I'll meet
Yeah.
you guys there if you're going to be there. But Sherwood is over this entire event. It's a who's who is in speaking, and so you definitely want to be there. It's a well done conference. Oh my God, you leave there feeling so fed, so fed, and so yeah, so that's it. But go back to the if you can, Brian, go back to the very first page of the magazine, the cover.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I can.
You
Hang
can,
on.
okay,
Yeah, I can. Just give me a
okay.
second.
So just so that people know that the online version has the videos in there. So make sure you see Jules' video on the cover.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So if you kind of hover over, you can see, yeah, there's a video there. That's her video. So the same thing where it's on the cover, and you can kind of see that as well. And then flip to the inside page. Videos there as well, videos here. So people will know it's an interactive magazine. But if you come to the event, if you actually come to the event, to the play, you actually physically get a magazine as well.
I
So
think
you
I
want
know
to do
her.
that. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So on the Speak Sell Shine, again, I just want to thank people who attended. It was like a cohort of about 20 people. They'll be featured in the December issue. So
Nice.
November is the takeover issue for SpeakerCon, and then December it will be the cohorts that will be in there, and you kind of see what they have learned and from that event. So yeah, this cover though is pink. You know, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and then Jewel just happened to have this outfit, but this outfit is hot. I'm like, girl. So yeah, this is it. And you want to make sure that you read the story and connect with her, because she has her information down here to connect with her. Obviously, it's jeweltankard.com, but also she's saying get the tickets for the play. He's finetheplay.com. You can get them from Eventbrite. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. But I would just say this is like a expanding issue where it just helps you think bigger. Helps you understand like how to use your voice, and the possibilities are unlimited. It really is. And get around the right people. This is the network. This is the Black Speakers Network official magazine. So you can't be in a network if you don't network. Okay, you gotta get in it, you know, with the people. And Kim's got the magazines as well. Those are the ones that's going to be there. So people will be getting those when they come in the door. So yeah, I'm just excited. It's going to be so good. Sweetest Day. I don't know if you
Yes.
celebrate Sweetest Day, Brian, in DC. I don't know if it's in Michigan, Ohio, and
It's
Illinois.
in the Great Lakes states. It started in Cleveland. He may not celebrate it.
Sweetest Day. Is that like a restaurant?
Never heard of it. It's only in the Great Lakes states.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't even know.
Valentine's Day, but it's like they say you treat the men, so that's what it's turned into.
No, they don't recognize that here in Baltimore. Yeah,
Yep.
That hasn't made it to. That has absolutely not made it to DC.
He's like, I don't remember ever getting treated on a certain day. But yeah, it actually stemmed from a man in the 20s. He would give candy away to children's hospital and orphans. And they called it Sweetie's Day in Cleveland, Ohio. So, and then it expanded to like at least 6 states. But it just hadn't made it to DC yet. You know, maybe you can propose that.
I'm trying, Kim. You know, I'm trying to add some class to these proceedings out here.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we are out of time, but I do want to do a final thought. So, Kim, you're 7 days away, and thank you for joining us this morning. Do you have any final thoughts you want to share before we close out?
Just whatever God put in your heart to do, you know, trust, like Jules said, trust your instinct. And I'm learning that as well, because I didn't know anything about writing my first book. I didn't know anything about mounting a play, but it starts with the desire. It starts with a yes to that desire, and it starts with prayer. And then you move, then you walk, you let God order your steps, and then he opens the door as you're walking. You know, a lot of us get it in reverse. We feel like we're waiting for someone to do something for us when everything we need is already inside of us. God has already empowered us with what we need to go forward. So with that, come on out Saturday, Sweetie's Day weekend, singles. I've been ministering to singles also for the last almost 20 years. So make it a ladies' night out. I normally do events on these holidays reserved for couples. So this is the event, the stage play. And couples, bring your boo. He's finetheplay.com. We can get it in person at God's World, Discount Bible, Baker's Bible and Bookstore. So yeah, get your tickets in advance. Come on out and enjoy yourself for a night of fun, laughter, and faith.
And also go to kimontheweb.com. If you missed this and you're watching this a year later or 2 years later, kimontheweb.com, because Eventbrite will be gone after next week. So go to kimontheweb.com to connect with her
And
for her next
subscribe to
project.
my email list. You'll get a free ebook, and you'll see ways to connect me if you're an aspiring actress, since I am a producer, or I'm also a book coach, and I'll be launching in January some courses for that. So I help authors, aspiring authors, publish their books. So let's stay connected. Yep, like Pam said, KimOnTheWeb.com.
All
Yes,
right,
I
there you
love
have
I
it.
love
Pam, final thoughts?
I want to say faith without works is dead. That's what I always one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. I'm an activator, and that's why I always say those that show up go up. So you got to show up. So you can pray all day, but you got to show up at the thing. So that is my final word. Get going, get moving. If you say you have a dream, don't say it to me, because I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna do the things, do the work that's involved to get it done. So get it done. It's your time.
All right. I love it. I love it. So yeah, this has been an incredible episode. I do want to thank Dr. Eddie Connor again for joining us, and also thank Dr. Jewel.
I'll see him in a couple hours. I gotta head to rehearsal.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because I got a packed day too. I gotta do lunch, and then I need a nap, and
let's not talk about sleep.
Well, I will be coming to your city soon, so maybe if I will see you, so that we could at least have coffee. How about that?
Me or Kim? Me?
Well, no. Me and Pam are in the same city.
I'm talking about coming to the DMV area. So
so there's the thing. Like, coming to Arlington, Virginia is not coming to my city. That's coming to
that's right.
That's going to
that's true. Baltimore is its own airport. Okay, I get it. Right.
But not just that, like literally, like if I left right now, it would take like 2 hours, depending on traffic, it could be 90 minutes to 2 hours to get to Arlington.
Oh, okay. That's a deal killer for me. That's like going to Grand Rapids from Michigan, Kim. So yeah, I get it.
I always take that opportunity to educate people, because when they come in the DMV, they're like, I'm in your hood. I'm like, where you at? They're like, Alexandria. I'm like, bro, like, you are not in my hood.
That's like 2 hours. That's like a whole nother a whole nother thing.
By helicopter, you're here.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I do have to run. I got a couple errands before rehearsal. So thank you guys for having me.
You are welcome. Have a great day, everyone.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.